Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charity. You're watching Booked on Charity. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this space. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so down below. I would really appreciate it. In today's video, I am doing my first ever mid-year freakout tag. So I've been seeing this on the tubes since last year and watching people do their thing, but I actually never done it myself, so I thought that maybe let me try it out this year and see how it goes. Since we are nearing the end of June, I think it will be a great time to do it. So there are 15 questions that I wrote down. I think there's probably 16 in total, but I didn't write down the last one because it felt like it wasn't applicable to me. So I'm gonna go through these questions with you and I will give you my answers that I've already written down so that this can be a nice and short video. And let's get into it. So the first question is the best book you've read in 2022. So this is a hard one for me because I feel like I've had a very good reading year. I think last year I was still doing a little bit of experimenting in terms of my reading and genres and all that. Now, because I know exactly what I love, I've kind of like prioritized that a little bit and I'm leaning more towards that kind of reading. So with that said, the book that I've chosen, even though there is actually a lot more books that I've loved and given 5-star ratings to, the most memorable is House of Sky and Breath by, of course, Sarah J. Maas. I absolutely enjoyed this book. I had so much fun with it. It is the second book in the Crescent City series. The first one is A House of Earth and Blood. That one was a little bit more slower paced because we were still building the world, getting to know the characters. But in this one, we know the characters. We're getting to know more of their personalities now, and we're getting more into the action and the plot and the intrigue, and it was so good. And the ending was amazing. The ending was so good that I went ahead and gone back to A Court of Thorns and Roses, because I had only read the first book by then, to go and read the rest of the series. And I feel like if a book can make me do that, that has to be one of the best books that I've read this year. So yeah, that goes to House of Sky and Breath. Okay, second question is the best sequel you've read in 2022. So my answer would still be House of Sky and Breath, but if I had to choose a different book, that would be A Court of Wings and Ruin. I think this was the best book for me in the series. It was action-packed. It was so good. There was a lot happening, but I like action. I like all of that. I like the plots. I like the intrigue. I had an amazing time. So that definitely goes to A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, the third question is a new release that came out in 2022 but you have not read yet and still want to read. So I've picked two books for this. First one is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. Bolu Babalola wrote Love in Color, which is a book that I still actually want. I still really want that book. This is an ARC that was gifted to me by Jonathan Ball Publishers, and is actually only coming out in July 21st. And I'm looking forward to reading this one. I think it's going to be very nice and steamy, and already I read the first page of the book and I was like, this is gonna be good. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. The other one is Book of Night by Holly Black. Holly Black usually writes, I think, YA fantasy books. This is their first adult fantasy book and I'm really looking forward to it. It's been making the rounds on Bookstagram and BookTube. Everybody's reading it right now and I also want to read it. So yeah, this is the other book that I'm looking forward to reading in 2022 still. Question number 4 is your most anticipated release for the remainder of 2022, and that book goes to Babel. Babel is written by R.F. Kuang, who is the author of my all-time favorite series, The Poppy War, and I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do with this book. I have no idea what the premise of this book is. I don't care. I don't care what is in this book. I want this book and I'm reading it as soon as it lands in my hands. But Babel is the book that is on my most anticipated reading list for the rest of 2022. Question number 6 is best disappointment. I guess it says best or not worst because you're trying to like keep a positive light to it. But for me, that has to go to Wahala by, was it Shemaine Wilkerson? I had so many problems with that book. It didn't deliver what I expected it to deliver, and I was just really disappointed. More especially, I was disappointed in the way that Black Nigerian men were portrayed in the book. I just didn't like it at all. I didn't like the friendship dynamics that were happening. Even friends that have been close for years were acting shady. I did not like it. I didn't like the mystery thriller aspect of it. It was unnecessary. I had lots of complaints. My other videos, probably vlogs, I talked a lot about it, but yeah, I did not like Wahala at all. Question number 7, my new favorite author. Can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? Of course, that has to be Sarah J. Maas. I've got a little Sarah J. Maas situation going here. I love the work. I love everything that I've read from her so far. I love the romance fantasy that she does. She does it very well. She writes smut very well. She writes plot very well. I'm even considering reading the Throne of Glass series because a lot of people say that it's good. I just need more of Sarah J. Maas because she's done me well. She has done me well as a fantasy reader and lover. She's a fave. Question number 8, new fictional crush. I think probably the person I've spoken to a lot earlier in this year has to be Rhysand from A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Question number 9 is newest favorite character. I think this one was also kind of like a tricky one because I love Cassian, also from A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I also loved Nick and Charlie because I read Heartstopper series earlier this year and I absolutely loved it. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry. I'm not a big crier. I am a Cancerian and I feel like I do cry a lot, but when it comes to books, like I teared up. My eyes got very watery, but I don't really cry in books. Maybe because I also do a very good job of not allowing myself to read sad books. I do not read sad books willingly. I would not read A Little Life. I will never read A Little Life. I have no business reading A Little Life or My Dark Vanessa. No, I'm not doing it. So you're not gonna see me cry. But to answer this question, it has to be It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. There were some really sad scenes and they definitely made me tear up. So yeah, It Ends With Us. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. It did. It made me very happy. It made me smile. It made me laugh. I had a very good time. Obviously, I gave it a 5-star rating because it was beautiful. It was absolutely amazing. And the audiobook makes it even better. Question number 12 is my favorite book to movie adaptation. I have not read anything that I have then watched this year, so this question is not really applicable to me, so I'm gonna skip. Question number 13 is your favorite review that you've written so far this year. I've written a lot of reviews. I don't particularly think I have favorite reviews because I kind of try to keep the same standard with my reviews. But if I had to choose, I would choose House of Sky and Breath again by Sarah J. Maas. Question number 14, the most beautiful book you have bought yourself. So I've received a lot of beautiful books from publishers, so I did not include any of those in this answer, but I will include two. First of all, obviously, look at this. This is beautiful, gorgeous, as well as the one that's decorating on my shelf right now. I think this book is absolutely stunning. I'm a fan of it. I really love it. I wished that the hardcover was probably maybe a different color. It has red end papers, but I love this. I love this color. Not color, cover. So that's why this book is forever sitting here, getting the spotlight that it deserves. Final question is, which books do you still need to read by the end of 2022? Preferably all of them. But yeah, I there's no time to read all of them. So firstly, it would be the rest of the 22 books I want to read in 2022 video that I made earlier in the year. I would really love to complete those books. Some of them will be included in the list that I give you right now, and some I made a list because I wouldn't remember everything. So Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola, I just showed it to you. Anonymous 6, I would like to finish. I am in the busy reading it. Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, because I've had these books on my TBR for a very long time, and the new book is coming out I think in January or February, so I want to be ready by the time that comes out. Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo, Son of the Stone by Sui Davis Okumboa, Artemis by Andy Weir, Kingdom of Souls by Raina Barrett, Warcross by Mary Liu, and the 3 Body Problem trilogy, as well as the does this even count as a novella because it's so thick? But yeah, these books from Shijin Liu, I also would like to get through by the end of 2022. Luckily for me, the audiobooks for these are available on SCRIBD, so I have the opportunity to listen to them while I read, and hopefully that makes my reading go faster, which normally it does. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching my mid-year freak out video tag slash this thing. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to my channel down below, as well as liking this video. It does help YouTube push my video forward so that it can get noticed by other viewers. Thank you so much again for being here, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.